wisdom is a really tough thing to get. People think it's kind of a passive, I'm going to meditate and then blank my mind out and then have wisdom. It takes ruthless concentration and application of intellect to work through the nature of reality. So it's not an easy thing to do. You're like, come on, everybody, it's easy. You're like, no, it's very difficult, uncomfortable, and it's rewarding in its own way. So it takes disconnecting your reward centers from external validation.
Which, come on. Like I actually just had someone on my podcast literally a few days ago. His name's Doug Knoll. He'll be up, and he emphasized that point, like to be able to have a core, to be able to really, and I thought I felt this like years ago. Like I thought I had this idea where like I truly didn't give a crap about what people thought about me. And then I just went into my unconscious living and went into my life patterns and then realized, years, months, whatever ago, that I really do care about what people think about me. And therefore they shape my actions. And therefore, I spend so much time trying to please other people that unfortunately my life is not being lived authentically. I'm being controlled by other people. And well, isn't that just an illusion, right? Isn't that just an illusion? The fact that we are just completely authentic and living completely by ourselves.
Right. And being controlled by other people, unless they're holding you down and chaining you, well, you're predicating your decisions based on somebody else's thoughts. Like, wow, didn't take much to control you then, did it? So that's abdicating your responsibility for the consequences of your actions. And I'm not a big advocate of not caring what anybody thinks. I actually care a lot about what some people think, the right people. Most people, 4.999 billion people, whatever that 9 repeating needs to be, there's like maybe 5 people that I genuinely care about what they think about me. Everybody else, who cares? Like you have zero impact on my life. Your opinion is less than worthless to me because I'm not even going to spend time saying it's worthless because I'm alive this time and I don't want to spend it with you. So, okay. I don't care what any of those people think about me, but the right people, that can help shape yourself, shape your actions in the right direction.
Well, so it makes sense.
Being accountable to people you respect is kind of a awesome hack for life.
Well, it kind of makes sense, like, okay, I'm human. I'm infallible. I'm fallible, right? I will make mistakes and, I will fall off the path. And imagine my friend comes up to me and gives me the right advice. And I say, I truly don't care about what other people think about me. You shut up, like you're right. Like it really, it's nice to have those people that you truly rely on. But then at the same time, I have a feeling, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, that you have a bit of a nomadic sense to you. Like you're very anti-internet. You're very big on privacy. You're very, sort of not into the whole technology thing, just based off the fact that you don't know who Charlie Puth is and the fact that you think that there's 4.9 billion people when it's really like 7 billion. So you're probably
I'm a couple hundred years out of date. Weirdly, I love technology.
Okay.
Because it is a phenomenal tool to free your creativity.
Makes sense.
I love social media. Most of my important relationships I maintain through social media.
Okay.
I am nomadic in that I've spent 20 years traveling the country and the world to make a living. Base layer reality is always super important. I'm introverted also, so I can be by myself for months and be fine. So I'm kind of like a social interaction camel in that way.
Yeah.
But I do love technology, and I'm a fan of human technology.
What do you mean?
How much time do we have? Because
let's give it 10 more minutes.
So the social media that most people think is the technology that's destroying the world.
Yeah.
Things like Facebook, like Twitter, which is where I hang out a lot. They're solving really tough technological challenges, which is, how do I know it's you? And that problem creeps up at a fundamental protocol level of this device is talking to this device. These servers are talking to each other. Mm-hmm. But TCP/IP protocol, they're near infinite. So that's what DDoS attacks can be, is that these machines can represent hundreds and thousands and millions of virtual entities that can ping this one server. How does that server know who those IP addresses are?
Okay.
That's a really tough problem that rises from the nature of the protocol itself that these two machines use to talk to each other.
Yeah. So I could fake being Jonathan Pritchard any day of the week.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Because you just pop up and be like, I'm Jonathan.
Yeah.
And the IP address is a machine thing, but the program could show the human level as I'm Jonathan. It's a really tough problem to solve, right? It's a challenge. It's so challenging that few people are willing to do it or capable of solving that problem. It takes an entire corporation full of people to solve that problem of how do we authenticate users?
Yeah.
The main way of doing it is, you know what? We, the corporation, are going to build out an entire department of engineers to manage these servers and to identify non-existent bots and that kind of a thing. And then we'll have these centralized servers that'll be completely locked down and under our control. Then we'll let Jonathan and Nick access a single row in the database. Name Jonathan, age, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
When I send you a message on Facebook, I'm not sending you a message. I'm writing information to Facebook's servers that Facebook allows me to do. Mm-hmm. And then it allows you to view that cell in that row of that database.
Okay.
It's not my information. It's not your information. We aren't talking to each other. We're both connecting as a client to the server that is managed and maintained and run by Facebook.
Okay, so that solves the problem, right?
That solves the problem, creates another problem. Deplatforming. You just spent 10 years building an audience on Facebook. You make the tech gods angry. They cut you off. You don't have access to any of that data. You don't have access to any of those relationships.
Yeah.
You're walled off, not your server, not your information, not your relationships.
So you could just get deleted.
Right. The only logical conclusion is for every individual to own and run their own server.
Yeah, which makes it, then you have no social media, unfortunately.
That challenge of creating a server that an individual could own, operate, and manage is not a small one.
Yeah.
That's a huge challenge, but it's being solved. And I've owned one for over 2 years now at the time of recording. And yeah.
You have your own server?
Yeah. It runs on a Raspberry Pi. Actually, the little red dot in the back is my server. And the Raspberry Pi to the right of it, kind of behind the Rubik's Cube there in the back far corner, is a bigger node to help facilitate other servers to find each other.
What the hell?
So I kind of own an internet service provider company that I started
2 years ago.
Started it about 6 months ago, but I've been on the network as an operator of my own server, and then been doing that for 2-ish years. And then helping other people get their own servers set up and manage them.
So what's the
About 6
purpose?
months
Is it
ago.
just simply to maintain privacy, like as a
It's to establish technology that helps individuals connect and maintain human relationships instead of serving a corporation's interests or a company's interests that are in direct opposition to the best interests of the users.